everybody, this is Tracy here for another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here to recap Invite Only Cabo, and it was the season finale of the show. And maybe the series finale, because I don't see where they are going to do like a reunion show for this season, and I don't recall them ever inviting any of the guests to come on to watch What Happens Live. So not sure what the ratings look like for this show, if Andy was pleased with the show. I know I enjoyed it immensely, and it was a lot of fun tweeting during the show with other people that were watching, but just not sure if it made the cutting room floor as something that they're going to bring back. So let's go ahead and get started. The show pretty much picks up where it left off. They were celebrating Corey's birthday. And if you remember, Corey is the male love interest of Larry Sims, who was hosting the whole vacation. And he flew him in, because it was his birthday. And as I pointed out in the last recap, everybody seemed to have had a birthday during this show. So anyway, Larry decides to do a yacht trip for the whole group, to continue the celebration. And on this yacht, they can go out and do what do they call it, the jet skis. And you know that Jermaine is afraid of water. He can't swim, but he decides to take one for the team. And it was very emotional and very hard for Jermaine to get out there and get on that boat. But then after he got on the boat, he relaxed, and then he decided he was going to try jet skiing. So Agu was actually doing the jet ski, but Jermaine was on the bike, and he said that even though he had a good time, he didn't think it was something that he would be trying again. And then remember, Corey got drunk when they took him out the night before, and in his drunkenness, he professed his love to Larry. So they have a conversation about whether or not he remembered saying it and did he really mean it. And so Corey said that he honestly did not remember telling Larry that he loved him, which I think is a red flag. But he says that he has trouble expressing his emotions when he's sober, and so sometimes he will say things when he is drunk. And so there was a discussion about whether or not a confession has the same meaning when you're drunk as it does when you're sober, because a lot of times people will tell you what they're really thinking about you, or say things that they've been keeping inside while they're sober, but they'll use the opportunity to get drunk and let all that stuff spill out. So is it the same for when somebody's telling you that they love you? Because I would have a serious issue if somebody said that they loved me while they were drunk, and then the next day they didn't remember it and seemed very hesitant or kind of annoyed that they did say it while they were drunk. But Larry, I don't know, maybe this little boy got him sprung. Maybe it's all a joke, because people were commenting on Twitter that this Corey guy looks very familiar and may have been on another reality TV show. So this whole thing may be fake. We don't know. But anyway, Larry decides that after they come back from the yacht trip, that he is going to take Corey out to lunch. And so they go out to lunch, and Larry is pretty much, pressing the issue about, did you mean it? Do you really feel that way about me? And so Corey does eventually say that he loves Larry, but I'm not sure it was coming from the heart or if it was because Larry was pressuring him to, come forth and say it. And so after he finally admits that he does love Larry, Larry gives him a ring. Well, first he gives him this little thin serpentine gold chain. So when Corey got ready to put the chain on, he says, oh no, before you take it, put the chain on, here's another gift. And so he hands him a ring box, and he opens it up, and it was like this gold double band looking ring. But instead of putting it on his finger, Larry tells him to put it on the necklace, and then it'll always be close to his heart. And I'm just like, Larry, who are you trying to fool? Like, come on, dude, let's be for real. And then it also made me start thinking about when they were headed out to the yacht, once again, Corey was all hugged up with Emily. And in the last episode, you know, he was all touchy-feely with Emily when they were at the bar. And so I'm thinking, like, is Corey really gay? Or is this just a role that he's playing because he's getting paid for it? And there just wasn't any closeness between him and Larry as they were like headed out to the yacht, or even when they were coming back. It seems like Corey was always paired or walking away from Larry with one of the other people. So that was a little strange to me. So back at the house, the rest of the crew, you know, they're reflecting on the fact that the trip is going to end. I think this is their last day, and they're going to leave the following day. So they decided, you know, that they've been real buttholes and that Larry was so nice to do this trip for them, and they were really unappreciative, so they need to do something special. And so they get the people, you know, who've been working in the house to put on this really extravagant dinner, you know, with the turf and surf, which is the filet mignon and the lobster and, you know, those special dishes. And they're going to have this dinner party to show Larry, you know, how much they appreciate him. And then, you know, the bidding for a second season was very prevalent in this episode, because they kept asking, well, do you think Larry would do this again? Like, would you want to be a part of another trip like this? And so that conversation came up several times during the episode. And what else happened? I think they told Kamani about the incident in the van when they were coming, in the SUV, when they were coming back from the club the previous night, and how Agu and Emily got into it. And so Imani, you know, she was feeling kind of special that Agu finally stepped up and stood up to Emily and told Emily he wasn't interested in her, that he was interested in Kamani. And they went on a shopping trip where Agu bought Kamani a gift, show his appreciation for her, and to say that he was sorry for the way that he acted. So he wanted to get a birthstone, her birthstone, which was, I want to say it was the aquamarine, which I can't remember what month that is, but it's like the clear blue, not the sapphire, because sapphire is September, and that's my birthstone, but it's a light blue, clear color. And he told the guy, you know, oh, I want to get something, you know, for her in the birthstone. So he gave Kamani that doggone gift. I was just like, oh my God. I think somebody on Twitter said it looked like one of it was a stone out of the Bejeweled pack, you know, the little jewelry making thing that they have for kids. But this thing was just, and they said, oh, was it a Bejeweled from the Hotep symbol or something? But this thing was just so cheap looking and so disfigured. Like, you couldn't tell what the shape of the thing was, but it was pretty big. But Imani seemed appreciative of it. And I think when he gave it to her, they were actually coming from the club that night. And so they were in the back of the van, of the SUV, when he gave it to her. And Imani and Kamani finally gave up the sugar. She finally kissed Agu. So these two have decided that they are going to give it a try. So they've decided that when they get back home, they are going to try and date each other to see where it goes. But then I think on the little bylines at the end of the show, it didn't last very long, and Kamani realized that they were not meant to be together, and she ended things, and he never had the opportunity to meet her daughter. So glad y'all got that out of the way. And Kamani, I hope you didn't give up the goods, girl. And so what else happened on this show? Oh, and then I thought it was weird that when Larry and Corey came back from their little lunch date, that Corey left. I mean, if the trip was going to end that following day, why didn't he just stay the extra night? But no, Larry flew him in and flew him out, just like he did AJ, like he did Joseph, and whoever else came to visit during that trip. And I think that was pretty much it. Emily, you know, says that she realizes she needs to stop drinking. And when she got back home, her and Joseph made up, and they're still together. Oh, once Corey left, then Larry was back up in Bianca's face and talking about if things don't work out between him and Corey, you know, he wants to give them a chance. And I'm just like, y'all so nasty, because what woman in her right mind wants to be with a man that's sleeping with other men? Like, that's just so crazy to me. And for them to even be trying to push that agenda as normal and something okay that people could be doing is just so crazy to me. When you can, well, I'm not even gonna go into the HIV thing, because the stats on that with men who sleep with other men and then turn around and sleep with women, and how that increases women's rates of HIV infection. Like, I can't even go there with you guys with that nonsense. But that was pretty much it. I really can't think of anything else that happened that stood out in my mind. Like I said, they were pitching for another season, but all indications are that there won't be another season. And like I said, no reunion show or anything like that. It's like this was a summer replacement show, and maybe they'll go back to the drawing board and see how it worked out and maybe reconsider it. But I don't know. But that's it for me, guys. Hope everyone has a wonderful week. Leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I hope everyone has a fantabulous week. Take care. Bye-bye.